Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a financial wellness check-in and my November reset. This reset is very much needed because for the month of October, not only did I not create a budget, I didn't do an October reset, and I also didn't keep track of my transactions. But we need to get our lives together this time around, and I'm excited. I'm actually quite excited to sit down and film this. Now, it is going to be 2 portions, and normally I like to do my financial wellness separate from my monthly resets because of editing, because I really don't like to sit down and edit an hour-and-a-half video. And maybe get your choice of drink because this is going to be a long one. And if you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Fatima. I'm a 30-year-old who lives in the beautiful desert of Las Vegas, Nevada with my husband and our furry kitty cats. And welcome. I like to talk about personal finance. I like to do lifestyle vlogs, and I just like to share all the core memories with you guys. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, I'd really love to have you here. And if you're a returning subscriber, hello, welcome back. Thank you for being here. It means the world. And without further ado, let's get into my financial wellness check-in for the month of October. I want to be very transparent. I did not create a budget for October. I didn't even track any other transaction other than my income for October. But I did input the transactions a couple of days ago before filming this, and October wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let's do a quick recap, shall we? Let's go ahead and start off with the numbers. I'm gonna skip the left to budget and left to spend amounts because they're not accurate. They just don't, it won't make sense since I didn't input any budgeted amounts. So for income, I think for income I did put budgeted amounts. I did, but I think I just put the bare minimum. I didn't even put like the business income budgeted amount. So let's do a review. For the budgeted amount was $9,254.64, and the actual amount ended up being $9,680.32. If we look at the income, my budgeted and actual amount for my corp income was the same. Now, the income that I didn't input was the business income, but it was a great business income month. My actual amount was $412.93. So that was really awesome. And my 401k and my HSA match were the same, and we actually made a little bit more than what I expected us to make on interest. So the budget amount was $50 and the actual amount was $59.51. So the biggest difference coming from business income. For bills and expenses, the actual spent amount was $2,710.68. The budgeted amount doesn't make sense because, once more, I didn't budget for the month of October. Investments, so I did input my pre-tax deductions, my taxes, and my investment information for the budget of October. So those are pretty accurate. So the budget amount was $1,767.18, but the actual invested amount was $1,771.88. Savings doesn't ever, it's really complex. I have yet to really do my due diligence and look for a new budgeting spreadsheet. A couple of you guys recommended a couple of budgeting spreadsheets in one of my last videos. One of you guys mentioned Gabby Peterson or Patterson, I'm not sure. Then another one of you guys sent me a message on Instagram, and you guys recommended the CoPlenty budgeting spreadsheet. And then I did find a third option, which is a content creator who I feel like I relate with a lot, over Gen Poverty, Viviana Vasquez, and she also just released her budgeting spreadsheet. So one goal for the month of November is to sit down and look at the budgeting spreadsheet options that I've been presented by you guys and Instagram, because she just kind of popped up and I want to make up my mind and pick one. Yeah, this one is just not doing it for me anymore. I've used it for many years, but what's really making it difficult for me is the savings aspect of it and the sinking funds aspect of it. So I will be, hopefully by next month, using a different spreadsheet. It breaks my heart to not have to use this anymore because I've been using this spreadsheet for a long time. I think since like either 2022 or 2023, I've been using the annual wealth dashboard for quite some time. And I love it because I also have the multi-year dashboard, and it's so beneficial to see all of my spending throughout the many years that I've been using the spreadsheet, but I just can't do it anymore. So anyways, kind of a little tangent, sorry about that. So yeah, the savings is honestly never accurate. I have to look at it right here in the savings section. So in the month of October, we actually saved a good amount of money, $896.99, but we actually saved more than that because I have my notes right here in front of me if you guys see me looking down. We have a rollover of $194 with 55 cents. Yeah, if we add that with 896, that's over $1,000. We saved a lot. We saved over $1,000 in October and not negative $53.01. Now, mind you, we did use $950 to renew our car insurance, so that's why the numbers are looking a bit off. Debt paid, of course, our mortgage. We are homeowners and we do have a mortgage. I include the principal and interest, which is $2,137 with 63 cents, and that's just the principal and interest. That doesn't include the home insurance, property taxes, and the MIP that we pay for, and the HOA. But if we go in our bills, this is where you can see the information. Actually, just kidding. We don't have any budgeted amount, but we do have the actual amounts, which is $96 for homeowners insurance, $126 with 27 cents for property taxes, and $149 with 12 cents for our MIP. So that is not included in the debt paid because that's not debt. That's just extra. That's not even the mortgage, right? That's just all the extra shenanigans that comes with home ownership. The mortgage is only the principal and the interest. Since we're already in the bills category, let's do a quick recap on bills. The only thing that was really, really weird in the month of October was our water utility. We only paid $33.76. I still don't know why, and I just don't want to question it. Dylan's actually telling me that I should call them and figure out why. I just don't want to. I just don't want to question it because we still kind of have an ongoing water leak. But the good news is that now we just have a small water leak, which could be a toilet. We just have yet to test it out. We have to turn off. We have 2 bathrooms, so we have to turn off one toilet for a full day, see how that goes, and then do the other toilet the next day. It's been a headache. So yeah, we're just not gonna question it right now, but I do need to figure out, well, Dylan and I need to figure out what in the world is continuously running that is like the smallest amount that is running. It's literally the smallest amount. Every other bill looked really good. Our car insurance was over $23.55. It actually was over a little bit more than that. Our insurance went up like everybody else's did in the state of Nevada, at least. It went up by a good chunk. And then when we moved, we changed our address and it went up again. Supposedly it has to do with data of the area, but every single time that we've moved, it's gone up. So I think it's just an excuse for them to always increase our insurance. That's my theory. Anyways, it went up. So yeah, we had to pay like $950. I think $950 and a little bit more. Something like that. It's just a pain. And I shopped around. I shopped around. I spent a couple of hours shopping around, and yeah, this time I just wasn't lucky. A bit of an oopsie on my part. Car insurance actual amount was over $48.83. I had to fix that up because as I was going through my categories, I saw a discrepancy. Let's get into my categories. I'm gonna go through these pretty quickly just because there wasn't a budget amount, but I will give you guys the total of my highest subcategory item. So for housing, the actual spent amount was $237 with 69 cents. The highest category being our toiletries, which was $132 with 67 cents. This happens like every 2 to 3 months, so I don't expect us to spend even over $100 or even close to $100 in the month of November. Transportation. So for transportation, we spent a total of $50. This was on a new used tire for my car because one of the tires was really, really balding, and we took a quick trip to California, and I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to be driving with a bald tire. Groceries and eating out. we spent $529 with 87 cents. Of course, the highest subcategory being groceries. Eating out was actually pretty low, $92 with 87 cents, which was great. Personal and pets was $513 with 17 cents, with the highest subcategory being beauty at $165 with 16. I got 2 sets of nails done, and I don't regret it. Not one bit. Look at these. They're so stinking cute. Health and fitness, a total was $16 with 26 cents. I did take one fitness class in the month of October because I've been working out at home and I've been really enjoying it. Like really enjoying it. But I also do sometimes just want to get a really good sweat in, and I know that my favorite mat Pilates instructor will just totally do that for me. Fun and travel, we spent $145 with 13 cents. So for fun, it was the highest subcategory. It was $79 with 32 cents. That doesn't include any gas spent. I do put the gas spent to California and coming back from California in that travel subcategory. So that $65 with 81 cents is gas. And then for fun, it was $79.32. I think majority of it is just eating out. I could put it in the eating out subcategory, but it just makes sense. It just makes sense in my head. And also, another good point is one of those meals wasn't for me or Dylan. We treated somebody else out to eat. So that's why it just makes sense to put it under fun. Business expenses, we spent $12.99. That's on my YouTube expense for Canva. Gifts, donations, and other. Total was $437 with 43 cents, with the highest being holiday for $248 with 68 cents. And this subcategory included our Halloween decorations that we decided to purchase since we have a house for the first time and we just wanted to really not go all out, but we wanted to decently decorate our house. We wanted to go with the theme, and we went with Dia de los Muertos, and we had like nothing related to Day of the Dead. So we had to purchase a couple of things, and we decided that we weren't going to go all out because we didn't know what the outcome was going to be, like how many children were going to come trick-or-treating. So we decided, okay, we'll buy a little bit, decorate, and if we get a lot of kiddos, then we'll go even more all out next year. So $248 with 68 cents was the total. I think I mentioned it, but this also included my Halloween costume and just any other Halloween related stuff that I needed for me. It was actually really worth it. I really loved dressing up. I'll put a picture right here for you guys. It was great. It was fun. It was a good Halloween. Turnout wasn't that big, but it was a good Halloween. Oh, and candy was also included in this subcategory. Overall, like I said, October was a great month. I am not going to do any monthly money reflections. I just... we'll do it maybe next month. I also didn't set any monthly financial goals for the month of October. I did move over my financial goals from my September reset, or a mix of August and September reset, into October. You guys are gonna see. Let's take a look at September and October goals. Like I said, I did move over some goals from August into the month of September, and then some goals from September into the month of October. So it was a mixture of August and September and October. Top 3 priorities for the month of September and October: have a consistent morning and night routine. I'm not gonna give myself this one, and it's a combination of many things: getting on new medication, still dealing with my insomnia quite a lot. Also me not being very strict with myself and not, I don't know, I feel like I'm just a failure. Oh, I did have an ER scare recently as well. So that also kind of reset everything for me. At least everything that I had slowly been working on, which wasn't a lot, but still it did flip me 180 degrees. At least for like the working out aspect, I was doing really good, working out at least 15 minutes every other day, sometimes even a little bit more. And then I just couldn't do that for a bit because of a procedure that I got and a potential infection scare that I got, which led me to the ER. So that was not fun. So we're definitely going to move this goal over to next month, or well, this month, which I have been starting to. And daylight savings kind of helped a little bit. Next goal, I have a plan to measure my goals and habits. So I am going to give myself this one because I did find a way to do so, and it's simply by journaling. I've been journaling a lot more lately, and I've also been keeping on track with my agenda as well as my daily routine setup. So this has been helping me a lot. For this goal, just having something more tangible like a journal is what really sealed the deal for me. I really recommend it for anybody. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like to journal, that's so stupid having a diary. And I was definitely one of those persons, but it's nice. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to just word vomit onto a piece of paper. Personal goals: work out 3 times a week, every week. Not able to give myself that one. I did start to get into a better routine at the end of October, but unfortunately that didn't continue on. But I did work out yesterday. So, the day before yesterday. So at least there's that. There's some hope for November. Lose 5 pounds, which I did do, all because of keto. Thanks to keto. And actually, I really enjoyed keto. I feel like it's one of the diets that at first I thought it wasn't going to be sustainable, but there's just so many keto-friendly options out there, and there's so many recipes out there. And once you started, it gets easier to just continue it. I did have a couple of cheat days here and there, but I did lose 5 pounds, which is great, which is what I wanted. And I'm hoping to maintain that weight. So I'm definitely going to be giving myself this one. Celebrate 4-year anniversary outside of the house. I don't even know why I brought this one over. I shouldn't have brought this one over. This one, we did do that, but it makes no sense to have this one for September and October. Complete lab work, ultrasound, and psychiatrist visit. So I did complete my lab work and my psychiatrist visit. I wasn't able to complete my ultrasound because I did not have the referral yet. I have the referral now, so that is what I'm going to be working on in the month of November, but I did do my lab work and I did meet with the psychiatrist in the month of October. For content goals, learn how to use DaVinci Resolve editing software. I started this. So I'm still going to give myself this goal because I've learned a good amount. I'm hoping that I will obviously not be proficient or even intermediate, but I will be editing future videos. I don't think this one I'm going to be editing, but any video after this one, I do hope to start editing on DaVinci Resolve. So far, I've been using all of the free features. I have not been using anything that has led me to have to pay for the full software. And what's cool about DaVinci is that it's a one and done type of software. I don't have to pay a monthly subscription for it. Posted times on YouTube. I am going to give myself this one because I did post 2 times in September and October. Now, Instagram and TikTok, I don't think so. I don't think I've been doing that great on either of these, so I don't think I'm gonna give myself these. Instagram, for a bit, I just kind of gave up on short form content, especially financial short form content. I really felt like I was starting to feel a little bit burnt out with the financial content. Not because I don't feel like I can do it. What I was putting out there just was not doing well for a bit. I think because I made the mistake of starting to put a bit of lifestyle content, like lifestyle reels on my Instagram, which on TikTok it's a little bit more forgiving, but on Instagram it's not. I know that for Instagram, you kind of really have to have a niche. You can't be all over the place. You will lose followers, and that's what's been happening to me. So for funsies, I created a separate Instagram where I will be posting like my work from home content, my lifestyle content, making coffee, the core memories. That's where I'm going to put all of that short form. I will link it down below in case you're interested and you want to follow that Instagram. But my main Instagram, I am going to stick to just financial content and the usual monthly dump carousels every now and then. It's going to be mainly for financial content. So that's definitely something we need to work on, both Instagram and TikTok. And then we have reached 915 subscribers on YouTube, which I did do. I think right now I'm at 930. Reach 800 subscribers on Instagram, which I did not do. I'm still at like the 780, 785. It's been rough over there. It's been very rough. Reach 500 subscribers on TikTok, which I did reach. I'm at 600 and I think 628. That's pretty great. And then financial goals. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure we met them all. Financial goals, I mean, We saved way more than $550, at least in the month of October. I can't really remember how much we saved in September, but I'm just gonna go based off of October on here. So save a minimum of $550, which we did do. We saved over $1,000. Add additional $200 towards principal. We didn't do this one, but only because we're working on a separate sinking fund. I can't quite tell you guys a lot of information about it. It's just a sinking fund for our future. That's really all that I can say. And so we decided to put the $200 that we were going to put towards principal into that sinking fund. Invest a minimum of $200, which we did do. Stick to your bills and expenses budget amount, which I mean, I can't and I can give myself this, but I'm just gonna leave this one alone because I didn't budget for October, so there was no budget amount, but our expenses were just so low. So this is where I'm kind of like, do I give myself this goal? Do I not? We're just gonna leave it alone. All right, so that was the goals for September and October. So now let's get into November reset. I do always like to start my resets with recapping the previous month. So let's get into wins and highlights of October. Even though October was a bit of a rough month health-wise, I do want to take note of all of the good times. One of them being that I went to my first bridal shower. That was really fun. I had never been to a bridal shower. I didn't have a bridal shower myself before I got married because it was during the pandemic. I got married in 2021. So I didn't want to have any of my bridesmaids host a bridal shower just for their safety. And then we just never got around to ever doing it. I basically didn't say that I didn't want one. I said not at the moment. And wedding day came and went, and then that was it. I went to my first bridal shower and it was so much fun. I really, really loved it. It was a farmer's market theme and it was for a really close family member of ours, and it was just so much fun, and it was an honor to be there. So I attended my first bridal shower. Another highlight of October was celebrating Halloween in our first home. That was really fun. I got to dress up and it was just beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. I took so many pictures and it's just honestly a core memory at this point. I was really, really sad when October was over, even to the point that I was like bed rotting on the living room couch. So couch rotting on November 1st, and Dylan came out and he's like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" And I looked at him and I was in tears telling him, "I'm so sad that October is over." But I do think those were the hormones. So enjoyed Halloween in our first home, decorated and celebrated. And another highlight, even though I wasn't able to continue it on through the rest of the end of the month, I still want to recognize it. I got back into working out and I was getting back into it consistently. So I do think that's a highlight. And taking care of my body. Some challenges. Okay. My mental health was a big challenge. Yeah, getting on new medications is not easy and having them change is not easy. So that's definitely been a challenge, but I know that it's the right thing to do. My anxiety has just gotten so bad since last year, honestly, since the election, and nothing that has worked for me in the past is working any longer. So to be able to take this big step to see a psychiatrist, get back on medications is huge. It's huge, but it's also a challenge on my body and yeah, like even my environment. It's a huge challenge. So mental health and getting back on medication for my anxiety. Having an ER scare, I think that was a huge challenge. I mean, it goes to show how, like, as humans, we're so fragile. We're so fragile. It's insane. I don't know, but I don't know if I want to put that on there. But so far, I'll just put mental health and getting back on medication for my anxiety. Favorites and gratitude. Best moments of the month. A bridal shower, and Halloween. Favorites of the month. My Aura ring. I got an Aura ring. I joined the Aura bandwagon, and I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it so much. Actually, the day that I realized that I needed to go to the ER, my Aura Ring was just notifying me. And I was looking at my heart rate. Even when I was just sitting on the couch, my heart rate at one point was like at 120-ish. So when I noticed that, I started to keep track of what was going on with my body. And when the fever hit, that's when I knew, okay, this is way more serious than what I'm like taking it as. So I'm gonna put my Aura Ring. Gratitudes of the month. I'm of course super grateful for my husband, always and forever. He's literally my rock. So I cannot not ever not have him as my number one on here. He was literally by my entire side in that ER, and at one point I looked at him and I'm like, Dylan, if you don't know the passwords to like my life insurance, to my 401k, our investments, everything is saved in my password vault. Like, I literally felt like that, to the point that I started to have that conversation with him. And it got me thinking like, oh my gosh, like tomorrow is never promised today. So it's best to be prepared than unprepared. So going into November, maybe that's one thing that I can work on, is figuring out a way to leave like an if I die journal or something like that, or like instruction manual. I don't know. I know that I'm just 30 and I'm young, but I could literally walk out this door to go get my mail and get run over by a car. That's just life, right? So I'm very grateful for my husband. Gratitude. Another gratitude, I'd say my job, especially with everything that's going on right now, all the layoffs that are happening and the shutdown that's happening. I'm super grateful for my job. I love my job. I love my corporate job. I really enjoy working with my coworkers, and I'm really grateful to be as privileged that I am to still have a job. And then books of the month. I read a couple of books in October actually, but my ultimate favorite one was Mark. Such a teenage book, and I know that they have been out for years, but I ate that book up. I started reading it when we were on our way to the bridal shower, and oh my gosh, it was so good that I decided to reread it. I'm rereading it right now because I do want to start the whole series because of time, and usually I do this separate from my financial wellness check-in. I am going to skip the financial overview section, but let's go into setting goals for the month of November, which today is the 3rd. We're already in November. So top 3 priorities. I do want to bring over one of the goals from last month. We're going to bring over have a consistent morning and night routine. It's getting bad again. It's just getting bad again. I really try to go without medication every night. And I was doing really good. And then the new medication kicked in for my anxiety procedure I had to get done, ER visit. It hasn't been that great. I have a consistent morning and night routine. We're gonna really work on that for November. I think that's gonna be my only top priority, just because if I have any extra priorities, I feel like it's not gonna allow me to give my full focus to this one. For personal goals, I think there was one that I wanted to bring over. Yes, I want to bring over workout 3 times a week every week. I definitely think we can do that this month. I already started doing it and I totally feel motivated to do it. I do want to try to get back into the gym though. So maybe we'll make that another goal. Go to the gym. We'll do 4 times in the month. Oh no, what did I do? So that's once a week. I think that's doable. We just really need to go to the gym and sign up. We have one that's 4 minutes down the street and it has great reviews. So we need to go check it out and see if it'll work out for us. Another personal goal that I want to work on, and these are going to be like all related health goals because the last goal that I'm going to pick is to get my ultrasound. Get my ultrasound done in the month of November. I think that's totally doable. They do walk-in, so I don't see why not. After my ultrasound, if nothing is found, because I'm still dealing with side pain right here on my left side, and my doctor already told me that if the ultrasound doesn't show anything, because my x-rays didn't show anything weird, then the next step from the ultrasound would be an MRI, and that probably I will not do until next year when we can afford to do it. I've been spending a lot of money on medical bills, so that's pretty good. Personal goals: work out 3 times a week, every week, go to the gym 4 times this month, complete ultrasound referral. Content goals: want to bring over, continue to learn DaVinci Resolve, so continue learning how to use it. It's actually pretty straightforward. If you're already using iMovie, I feel like DaVinci Resolve is the next closest thing to iMovie. Closer than Final Cut Pro. Anybody else out there agree with me who is familiar with DaVinci Resolve? I felt like I struggled a lot with Final Cut Pro when I tried the free version of it, and maybe because I was just trying a free version of it, so I was like really short on time. So I don't know if that has to do with it, but so far I've really been enjoying DaVinci Resolve. And then for content goals, so let's see, for YouTube, I want to post 5 times this month. 5 times on YouTube, and then we want to post 2 times a week on both Instagram and TikTok. I really don't want to overwhelm myself with Instagram and TikTok. I know for TikTok, I'll totally meet that goal because I already have a lot of content ready to go for TikTok for November. I'm not just focusing on financial content on TikTok. I'm also doing like mini vlogs, lifestyle, and I've already completed a couple of posts that are already scheduled to go. And by scheduled, I mean like in my drafts, and I just have an alarm to remind me of when to post them. So I know that's for sure doable. It's definitely going to be Instagram that's a little bit harder because I can only do financial content, but I want it to be financial content that's going to be worth a person's time. Subscriber count or follower count. So for YouTube, is it ambitious to want to reach to 1,000 subscribers for YouTube for this month and not December? I don't think so. I think I can do it. I think I can do it, that by the end of November, I think I can be at 1,000 subscribers. If I'm going to be posting 5 times this month, I think that is doable. 1,000 subscribers. I think it's doable. Will I get monetized? I am not sure. Maybe. But if I don't get monetized in November, I think I have a higher chance to get monetized in December. Way more higher chance to get monetized in December. For Instagram, should I even give myself a goal? I guess I'll do 900. Reach 900 followers. I definitely do think that's a little too ambitious, 900 followers, but we'll see. Well, actually, where am I at right now? Oh yeah, no, we can't do 900. I'm being so silly. Reach 800. We'll see. Reach 700 followers on TikTok. I think we can totally do that. I think I should be able to get there by the end of November. It's just Instagram that I'm a little bit unsure about. YouTube and TikTok, yeah, I think we can do it. Financial goals, what I like to do for this one is I like to create my budget for the next month and then copy and paste the goals that I fill in for the budget spreadsheet. So let's do that right now. Going back into the wealth dashboard, we are starting with a blank slate for November. The very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste my income from last month over to November. It's just the fastest and easiest thing to do. I'm also going to do the same thing for my pre-tax deductions, and we'll review that information once I finish copy and pasting. I do expect a couple of changes to happen because I did get a raise. I got a small little raise, but I am set to complete the year with a 5% raise, or just like a little over a 5% raise. I need to double check with my manager, but my last one-on-one with my manager went really, really well, and I scored all 4s, which I was so happy about. I'm just really happy that my hard work gets recognized. I'm also going to copy my investments. So let's look at the income really quick for the incoming month. I have a budget amount of $8,593.82, but of course that's going to be a little bit higher this month. I want to say it's going to be higher about $100 or $90. I am happy to say that my gross amount bi-weekly is now over $3,000. So that's super exciting. I love that. So in total, my net amount is going to be a difference of, yes, $104 with 18 cents. And then I will have a little bit more deducted for term life insurance because I decided to sign up for term life insurance, a pretty high amount for my husband. So yeah, so income is looking good for corp income. It's going to be a bit higher, this amount. So this budget amount is off by a bit, but I'm going to leave it as is just because I like to see the numbers change going into December. So I will change it for December. 401k should also be a little bit higher. My HSA match should stay the same, but 401k should be a little bit higher because it's a safe harbor. So it's 3% of my yearly salary. Business income, I think I'm anticipating $350 as of right now. I do need to review my contract with my client that I'm currently working with. She already approved everything. She already signed my new contract. There's just a couple of stipulations that we need to go over just to figure out how we're going to work them into this last quarter of the year. And then there will possibly be a bonus because right now we're getting into the heavy sponsorship time frame for brands. There is potential to make more money for business income. Pre-tax deductions are going to be a little bit higher. I do have a new section for voluntary AD&D and then voluntary life. But right now I'm just going to put the actual amounts on here. That will change for December for voluntary life. Medical, dental, and vision. I think my dental might actually be lower. Vision and medical will stay the same. Our company was actually kind enough to fork up the costs for the insurance that I'm under for medical. But yeah, dental might lower down a little bit. And then for taxes, that will obviously increase with every raise I get. My taxes increase. Looking at investment, everything looks good. Before 401k, my investment is going to be a little bit higher, $4, because it is based off of my percentage and my salary. So with my salary going up, my investments go up as well. And I don't change that. I just leave that as is. HSA and HSA match will stay the same. And then my 401k match, like I mentioned earlier, will go up by a little bit as well. For IRA, I'm going to leave a budget amount of $200. We're going to stick to that goal for this month. I totally think we could do it. I don't see why we shouldn't. Now, going into savings, we actually already met our savings goal for Christmas sinking fund. And I think that's like the main sinking fund that we were working on. We do have that other sinking fund. I named it M for the meantime, that we are actively working on. So for right now, I am going to throw an additional $200 towards that sinking fund. And just to let you guys know right now, the amount that we have left to budget of the total income budgeted amount, we have left to budget $5,797.58. I am considering on adding a little bit more money into our Christmas sinking fund as a just in case. We do have $2,000 in there right now, but I don't know. I feel like just in case is kind of nice. So I'm gonna add $200 as like a little buffer amount. It doesn't hurt to be overly prepared. If anything, it hurts more to be under prepared. I do also want to start working on the next car insurance sinking fund and car registration, but I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna come back to this a little bit later. Oh, and actually, let me look at the interest on income. Our interest rate did go down, so I am gonna lowball it to $40 of interest for this month. So we shall see. And usually any interest that we get, I just throw it back into our emergency fund. There's no need for us to spend it or even put it to a sinking fund. It doesn't matter. Oh, and I almost forgot to add our mortgage information under the debt section. So let me copy and paste that right now. Yeah, I feel like I'm a bit all over the place, especially because I didn't budget for last month. It's been a little rough. Principal and interest. Budget amount, $2,137.63. Do we want to make an extra mortgage payment? Ideally, yes. I would love to. So I'm gonna do $200 extra mortgage payment, and I will revisit this in the middle of November to see if we can do anything above the $200. Right, so that's looking good for now. Like I said, we'll come back to the savings. Let's get into our bills. So for bills, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to copy and paste from October actual amounts, and then I'm going to make a couple of changes. I'll put the due dates a little bit later. I do want to go over the budget amount first. So for water utility, I actually know how much we're going to be paying for the bills that are incoming for this month. For water, let me look at that. The first bill that's coming due is our internet. That shouldn't change. It should be $70, I believe. Actually, I'm not sure. I need to double check with Dylan. I think there was a change that was done to our internet bill, so I just need to double check. But I'll leave $70 for now. So for our water bill, we have to pay $109 with 51 cents. And then for gas, $27 with 60 cents. And then electricity should be a little lower because we are entering our winter time, $97.51. And then for phone bill, I'm going to leave the $93.77 that we need to add into the phone bill sinking fund. So I actually should also have that in my savings. Life insurance should be fine. Car insurance, I'm gonna take that away because we just paid car insurance. Gym, we don't have a gym. Well, we might have a gym membership this month. So maybe, I think the one that we want is like 20 something dollars, like $28. So I'm gonna put $30. Netflix is the same, Apple Storage is the same, YouTube Premium. Yearly subscription, this is the one that I need to check. I'm not sure if I have a yearly subscription coming due in November. I do have a yearly subscription due, which is my InShot video editor. That's what I use to edit all of my short form content. So that is due November 26th, and that's $17.99 for the whole year, which is a great price, amazing price compared to CapCut. And then I'm gonna leave homeowners insurance, property taxes, and MIP as is. All right, so that looks really good. Like I said, I'm gonna add the due dates a little bit later. I just really wanted to focus on the budgeted amounts. So now we have $2,360 with 30 cents left to budget. So let's get started with housing. For housing, home items, I do want to give myself a budget of about $50 for home items because I will be hosting a Twilight party in November. I know I should have hosted it in October, but there's just no time and I just wasn't in the mood to have people over in October. So I will be hosting in November. It's just going to be a small little get together with my friends. Some of them are going to be joining us virtually. So we're just going to do like a paint and sip small canvas. I'll probably make a bit of food for whoever comes in person. So I do just want to buy a couple of decorations that I'm missing, and then I will add the remaining amount that I plan to spend in the fun category when we get there. For toiletries, like I said, I don't even think we're gonna get close to even $100 for toiletries. So I'm only gonna put $45. Miscellaneous household needs, I don't think we need anything, so I'm gonna put $0. And then escrow add-on, I do like to put the mortgage extra onto the escrow add-on, but let me actually see. I think it's just gonna double it. Yeah, it just doubled it. And I think it might have done the same with my cell phone. So I'm gonna remove this amount for the cell phone because I think it doubled it as well. Okay, so I'm not gonna put anything for escrow add-on. I think I just mainly created this to look at the actual amount and not the budget amount. I'm just confusing myself, so I'm just gonna leave that alone. Okay, so that looks good for housing. So we have a budget amount of $95 for housing, $50 for home items, and $45 for toiletries. Transportation, for gas, I do actually need a refill on gas, so I'm gonna put $35. For my car, I don't know if Dylan needs any gas. We are traveling this month to a wedding though, but we don't ever use his truck, so we should be fine. So just 35 car expenses. I don't think I have any car expenses for this month. Maybe I need to do an oil change. I'm gonna have Dylan check. I don't know. I don't think I need to put a lot for an oil change. Maybe 15 bucks for the filter. So I'll just put that for now. And everything else should be good. So in total, $50 for transportation. Groceries and eating out, I'm gonna give ourselves our monthly $600 grocery budget. I think that should be enough. For eating out, we have already ate out once in the month of November, or twice. Can't really remember. Or not once, yes. Yes, the other time was in October. We went to In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A, and it was terrible, Chick-fil-A. Anyways, I'm just gonna put 100, play it safe. 100 seems like a good number. Personal and pets. For personal, I'm gonna go a little bit lower than I have been lately. I'm gonna do 50 for both Dylan and I. And then for kitties, I'm gonna do 180 because I do want to get some probiotics, additional probiotics for our fluffy kitty cat. Her diarrhea has just been getting a little worse, so I want to give her some extra probiotics than the ones that I'm giving her right now. And then for beauty, I'm gonna put the 75. No. For beauty, I'm just gonna put 25 because I do need a moisturizer, and that's it. I don't think I'll be getting my nails done until December. Health and fitness. So for healthcare, I'm gonna put 0 because I've been paying everything with my HSA card, and I think I need to stop because even though I have a good amount of money in there, I'd rather invest that money. So I'm gonna put 0 for now because I don't have any upcoming medical bills. We are waiting for that ER medical bill, but we're gonna try to see if we can get on a monthly payment plan because why not, especially if it'll be 0% interest. So we'll probably revisit this in my financial wellness for November. Fitness class, I'm gonna give myself $30 for this, or actually $35. For fun and travel, okay, for fun, I'm gonna do $100 since we're going to California. For travel, how much did that cost us last month? $65. Okay, so I'm gonna do $70, and that's mainly for gas. The travel subcategory in fun and travel is for the gas that we're gonna be spending to go to California and come back. And then business expenses, it's just the Canva, which is a tax write-off, so that's great. Gifts, donations, and other. It is my sister's birthday, but I am not getting her a birthday gift. I do not get my sisters birthday gifts. I just give them a pretty nice big Christmas gift. I don't think there's any other birthday. Well, it's her husband's birthday, but I don't get him a gift either. I just bundle up their gifts in one, or well, I'll actually get the husband's something small, the brother-in-law's something very small. So I'm gonna put 0 for now in gifts. 0 in donations. We'll revisit this a little bit later. Mom and dad, $50. I might have to revisit this. So $50 for this month, but I might have to revisit this. For Coco, I accidentally bought her food. Well, I have a subscription for her, but I had a subscription on Amazon and Chewy, and I meant to stop the Amazon one, and I forgot. And I couldn't cancel it. So she's gonna be pretty stocked up on dog food. So I'm just gonna put how much it was, which was like $63. So I'm gonna round it up to 65. And hopefully that's it for Coco. I'm not sure. Coco is my dog who belongs with my parents. It's just a long story. General expenses, I'm gonna put 0. Holiday, I'm gonna put 100. And miscellaneous, I'm gonna put $10, and future home spending is actually, that's just a extra subcategory that we're not using anymore. So for gifts, donations, and other, the total budget amount was $225. And that's it for the expense category. So let's go back into savings. We do have $861.08. I had a feeling that we were gonna have close to $800 remaining for the month of November. So like I said, I wanna work on the next car insurance fund. So I'm gonna add $200 into that. And then the car registration, I'm also gonna add $200 into that one as well. And now we have $461.08 remaining. I think the remaining amount, I think I'm just gonna throw it into our emergency fund for now. And then when I revisit this budget mid-November, I'll probably add a couple here and a couple there into a different sinking fund. But for now, I'll just leave it into the emergency fund. I think that's the best place to leave it. And financial goals, I think I'm only gonna do 2. Let's just stick to something small. Stick to your budget goals. Let's see how much we're trying to save. Oh, we're trying to save a lot. 1,354. So I'm gonna put save a minimum of $1,000. And I think that's pretty good. I think we can do that. I think we can save $1,000 this month. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. But like I said, we'll revisit this in mid-November. I'm not going to do any wealth affirmations for right now just because I'm getting back into budgeting from not doing it a month ago. And timing. This video has already been long enough. So that's pretty much it. That is November's budget. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe. It's free. Just hit that button down below. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. I hope to do a payday breakdown for you guys, just kind of go a little bit more into detail on what I do on payday. Maybe do a long form content video on that. I normally do short form payday videos, but I kind of feel like doing a long form one. But other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye guys.